everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome into the PHNX Suns Podcast. I'm Lindsay. That's Saul. That's Gerald. That's Espo. And this is my new hat. Do you love it? I love it. It's so cute.
It's something.
Don't be haters.
I'm very happy for you and
thank you, Gerald.
whichever house you get sorted into at Hogwarts.
I love my hat. It's so cute.
If you like the hat, you should have seen the broom she rode in on.
I mean, I about needed to. My car decided to just
That's
kaput
also true.
on my way into work. Left me stranded. But I love this hat. It's so cute. Anyway.
I'm very happy for you and your new hat, Lindsay.
Thank you guys
looks
for
like a
giving me
nipple.
30 seconds. What
did he say?
It looks like you guys are thinking the wrong nipple. I'm thinking like a baby nipple.
On a baby bottle. Is that what you're...
Yeah,
Okay.
not a baby nipple. Yeah, baby bottle
Dear
nipple.
Lord, it's
Oh, no.
Friday. Can we just read the ads and go home?
Oh, no.
Our friends at Four Peaks love you. So does OG, Shady Rays. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
I chose my words poorly. Sorry.
Yes, you did. This is facts.
Oh, no.
Eric in the chat said, I'm happy you're happy. LOL.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric. All right. Off the rails early, says Elizabeth in the chat. Elizabeth, buckle up. We got some fun stuff in store for you guys
You
today.
ain't seen nothing
But
yet.
first and foremost, we do have to talk about the latest updates to the Phoenix Suns schedule this upcoming season that we have received. So we know Christmas Day, we got the Mavs.
Ugh.
How you guys feeling about this one?
This was the one team yesterday I said I didn't want to see on Christmas.
Yeah.
Thanks, NBA. I don't want to have to deal with Luca and the whining and
Just
the
Mavs fans in general. Yeah,
like-
I feel you.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's not my favorite matchup. I thought like the Warriors or the Nuggets would have been more fun. But
I wanna-
look, the Suns have spent their last two Christmas games. They lost to the Warriors the first one. Then Booker got hurt the second one. They lost to the Nuggets. The Mavs are not as good as those other teams. Like I'm okay with that. I think the Suns can
That's
get a
fair.
win on Christmas Day
This is
against
true.
Luka. The last time that they played, it was a really fun game. Came down to the wire. KD hit a go-ahead shot in the final like 30 seconds or whatever it was. So I'm okay with it. NBA likes its Booker versus Luka matchup.
There's a lot of drama that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
We always inevitably get some piece of drama out of these games. So I understand why they want to have that on Christmas Day.
Can we go to good Kyrie conspiracy theory for Christmas Day? Like, give me one of those.
Yes.
Like, if we're going in, let's go all in, right? I want every bit of chaos and craziness that we can get out of it if we have to suffer through this on Christmas Day.
I'm sure he'll provide us with one beforehand. We'll be
Yeah.
all right.
I think the reason why the Mavs is listen, the Suns should win that game.
Mm.
Okay. Just putting that out there. But there is a alternative universe where they don't win that game, and
Mhm.
that's worse on Christmas Day than any other day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It is.
Like, I know the Suns should win, so I shouldn't be concerned. But there's always a chance that whatever happens, and
Well,
we
I mean-
lose that game. And then that sucks for Christmas. That's the only reason why I didn't want the
But that's
Mavs.
just, yeah, I get your point. That's playing on Christmas in general, though, I feel like.
Yeah, but it's worse when it's the Mavs,
It is.
right?
But it's
Yeah.
better when you win.
I gotta
That's
see
true.
So just
Luka
win.
with that shit-eating grin if he beats the Suns on Christmas. Way to ruin my holiday, thank you. Like, the one gift I
God,
want
you
is
sound
book
so
dunking on
disgruntled.
Luka's ass. I can't stand that guy.
Couldn't tell.
And then we also
Mostly I'm just angry for the third straight year I gotta spend Christmas with you guys. All
At
right?
least it's not a doubleheader.
It's true.
That's how
No-
the last two
no
were. It was like Cardinals and Suns. I was like, oh, awesome. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah. No time for family. I guess we are family, so we do make time there.
Thus my previous comment. Like,
Ness was like, I'm trying to get away. All right, and then we got a couple more updates. So the season opener for the Suns is the 24th at Golden State. Then the second game is going to be against the Lakers in LA on the 26th.
Mhm.
So this is a pretty star-studded opening to the season. Obviously, the first two games are on the road, but it makes sense. KD playing back in San Francisco with the Golden State Warriors home for the first time in what feels like forever.
First time since he left.
Yeah.
In front of fans.
In front of fans. Yeah,
And
in front of
then
fans.
also the second game against the Lakers, first time him and LeBron have faced off also in forever.
Yeah.
So the NBA was like, we got to get this in earlier than later. We're not taking any chances here.
Well,
These guys got to play each other.
They also know LeBron's not going to make it past game 20, so.
Oof.
Because he's always hurt.
The way
LeBron or
this is
KD,
stacked,
they-
I'm not sure KD makes it through preseason because they've got the two teams that he hasn't played against to start the 2 games of the season. I don't like the NBA trying to jinx this franchise.
I don't think
Man.
that's what they're doing.
Ah,
I
Do you
think
think
man.
it's a jinx?
no.
Lindsay's got
Wow.
a witch hat on. I squarely got the tinfoil hat on today, all right?
Go
I
get it.
don't see that at all, but okay.
I
You
think-
do you.
I feel like they're trying to get their
Jacob,
games
bring me
in
my
early.
tinfoil hat.
Oh no.
I just think that there's a lot of storylines and the NBA is trying to capitalize on that. And it's nice that the storylines are centered around the Suns because now we're going to have some nice things because of it. And the NBA can quite literally not talk about us, at least for these 2 games.
Well,
Yeah.
it's both nationally televised opening night and then the first night on TNT on that Thursday. I mean, yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna
Yeah.
have a lot of nationally televised games this year, so hope Suns fans are ready to stay up late because
Yes.
those 8:30 games are coming in
Oh.
hot.
Ooh,
Man.
boy.
Sleep up now.
I mean, it could be
So
worse
sleep
if you're
now.
on the East Coast, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be
At least
worse.
we're not there. That's a positive.
Yeah.
But that means we're kind of like piecing the puzzle together here that the home opener maybe on the 28th,
So it might
sort
be.
of, or the 27th if they decided to throw a
It
back
could
to back
be.
to us.
So I had noticed going through team schedules from last year, there were like 6 teams that opened up their first 2 games on the road, and then their first home game was their 3rd game, which was the second night of a back-to-back. So it could be the 27th that we're looking at for a home opener,
That'd be jacked
or
up.
they could give them an extra day off and give them the 28th.
That would
be
be
my guess.
disappointing.
Not for me. I have a wedding on the 28th, so I kind of need them to be the 27th or the 29th for the home opener.
Better not be the 29th. That's my daughter's 7th birthday. So
So
give me,
27th.
give me the 27th or
So
the
we're all
30th,
pulling for
yeah.
a back to back.
You guys have a lot of
Fingers
rules.
crossed.
Hey,
I have one, just not the 28th.
Yeah. they just happen to fall back to back for us. You know, it's-
We all know the NBA season does not care about anybody's personal lives and will continue to just truck right on along.
Yes,
And
they
that's
will.
okay because some of us will be here one way or the other with some fun post-game shows. But again, we're getting really close to the start of the season. So we're starting to get more and more information
God.
on the schedule. In theory, next week we should have the entire schedule out,
They
right?
announced it Tuesday. We're going to get the entire schedule drop at, I believe it's 3 p.m.
Hey, right during
so-
our show.
No,
Nice.
no, it's Eastern. 3
Fuck
you,
p.m.
Espo.
Eastern, sorry. So we'll be able to talk about it.
But
then.
that day on the show, we will dive into it.
Why
for
would
sure.
we say East Coast time?
Because I just saw it and I remembered it was ESPN putting it out there, so it was Eastern.
So infuriating. Damn it. Oh.
I'm
so mad.
sorry. I'm
3
sorry I was
p.m.
the only one on the panel that knew that it was Tuesday.
3 p.m. in
You
the place
were
we
not,
don't live.
but
I'm sorry that
It's
was the only one that spoke up. Like,
I mean, all
God,
we're asking
you
is for
spoke
you to tell
immediately
us
after
what-
she spoke. I thought you had it handled.
Gerald, what time is that on
It's
Tuesday?
like, well, sure, if he wants to take it. It's 3 p.m. Eastern. So
All right, there we go.
Oh man. Is anybody else hungry? I'm hungry. I should have stopped at Circle K on the way in to pick up some snacks.
That's
or
not
a
where you got
Polar
that hat?
Pop. It's
some
not.
cauldron cakes.
I just feel like we're
Birdie
real
bots.
spicy off the top of the show, and maybe
it
we're
spicy?
hungry.
Are we
Butter
spicy?
beer,
I mean, a little bit.
chocolate frogs.
I don't feel like we're really spicy
And
yet.
then you yelled at me about my hat.
I
You
did
yelled
no.
at
First
Espo
of all,
about
I
3
did not
p.m.
yell at you about your hat.
That's how I remember it. I remember just sheer anger directed towards
Oh
me
my
from you
God.
about my hat.
Oh my! Listen, Lindsay. I cannot handle more drama this week, so stop. That is not what happened.
Maybe if I would have stopped at Circle K on the way in and got snacks and Polar Pops for everybody, we would be in a better mood. But hey, it happens. I forgot. Anyway, Circle K has a lot of great stuff from premium gas to the best coffee as well, and a lot of great deals. So make sure you're not missing out on all the great stuff that they have to offer. And right now, if you text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club, you're going to get a buy one, get one free offer on 32-ounce Polar Pops. See, so maybe I need to take one of you with me because then we get 2 for the price, or 4 for the price of 2 if we
Mhm.
both have a coupon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or this is you, and you could just get 2 for yourself. Like,
I was
the
trying
price
to be
of one.
nice.
Yeah, she was trying to hook us
I
all
was
up.
trying to spread some love and
Espo's
good
in no
vibes
mood for
around.
camaraderie
Yeah, he's zero,
today.
zero.
He's at his Christmas
Espo's
ruin.
like, listen,
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with you guys. It's Friday. I'm trying to leave and not talk to you for 2 whole days.
I got a 5-hour drive tomorrow morning to Vegas. Like,
Well, make sure you take your Shady Rays
I'm
with
gonna
you.
take them.
Keep your eyes protected on the road. Shady Rays has great gear that is built to last. We're talking premium polarized shades. They are an independent sunglass company with world-class products. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
I got that stupid ass song in my head now.
The Harry Potter
I've
one?
never heard it before, and this is the first time I heard
that.
it, and now all I can hear is boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the
Snape.
fuck?
Snake. Slither, Snake. Dumbledore.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, guys, here is where things really go off the rails.
But they haven't already.
But like for real,
But
okay?
we
So
really go off the rails.
once or twice a year, we do a palate cleanser episode. Obviously, we had some Suns talk off the top because it was important
Relevant.
to talk about. Yeah. But within a palate cleanser episode, we just ask each other a bunch of really random questions and then answer it. It's a great way for us all to get to know each other a little bit. And also, some of these questions I kind of feel like would be super fun questions to ask your friends or your significant other or whatever, just to spark some fun conversation over the
Sure.
weekend. So by all means, feel free to steal some of these questions.
Can I
But who would
start?
like to go first?
Oh, I'll go first.
Yes,
Okay.
Saul.
So something I've always wanted to know about everybody,
Okay.
about
Oh,
everybody,
this
Uh-huh.
is terrifying.
is what was your first impression of said person?
Oh, well, this is setting me up for failure because you all thought I was mean.
I didn't think you were
I
mean.
don't know. I don't think
You tweeted out last year that you were afraid of me at first,
That's
right?
different.
that's different from mean.
Hold
Okay,
on a
that's
second.
fair.
I tried to hire you at the Suns, so my first impression wasn't that you were mean.
Okay.
It was that I didn't have
You get
enough
a pass.
budget to hire you. Was my first
Aspo
impression.
gets passed.
Let's see.
That's a tough one. I don't know if I remember it so far back.
I remember meeting Gerald. It was probably what 2014 in the
Yeah.
Suns media room, and I thought, dear God, I'm getting old because look how young these guys covering the team look now.
Yep.
That was
I
my
didn't
first
have-
impression. Of
I didn't have
Gerald.
facial hair
No,
back
we
then.
did not.
You
And let
were
me tell you,
you look like
This
a
is what
baby.
keeps it all together.
You did look like a baby.
I was like 30 at the time, and I was like, God, I'm old now.
Oh my
Great.
gosh.
Yeah, my first
a tough
impression of
question.
Espo was that he was like mild mannered and very nice, very sweet person.
Yes.
And now I've met him. Gotten to know
Hold
him.
on. See, the funny thing is, the reverse is usually true.
Yeah.
Most people think I'm a bombastic asshole,
No, he
and
was-
then they meet me and they're like, "Oh,
No, he
He's
was
nice.
he was very kind to me. He'd always come over and say hey and ask if I had any questions and like help me out. He was him and Paul Coro were like my two guiding personalities in the media room when I first came there. So
Yeah.
I thought he was a very nice person. He's still a very nice person, just
that-
to others. It's different.
To others.
Am I?
Suck
I'm
it,
no
other
longer on the
NBA cities.
recipient.
Espo and I
receiving
first.
end of that.
Espo and I first met at. I took him out to lunch
Mhm.
because I wanted to introduce myself, but also get to know him.
Mm.
And he came in, and he was just like awkwardly quiet, especially compared to what I know about him now. Like
Yeah.
the whole conversation, it was just like he was kind of quiet. He said a few things, but I was talking the most, and I was just like, okay, all right, well.
Does this guy even like me?
Yeah,
I would be like,
yeah.
what's wrong?
Gerald, my first impression of Gerald was, oh yeah, that guy hates me.
Why?
I really thought Gerald did
Did you
not
really?
like me at all. Yeah. So when
Really?
you hired him, so full disclosure,
Mm.
Espo got Gerald on board before I even became the GM.
Mm.
And so when you hired him, I was just like, God, I hope he likes me because this is going to be ugly.
Gerald was the first guy I called. Like
Yeah.
the second I got green lights to call people, I remember that night. I'm like, you probably think this is crazy, but I'd like to hire you for this thing that isn't a thing yet.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna need more details, but I'm listening.
Listen. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, but I was gonna say my first impression of Saul was that he was quiet, and like I was very shy for the first couple
Yeah.
years I was in the media room, until I started being there like full time and started to be around people more often. So I was just kind of like Saul's nice, but I don't know a lot about him. I would come over and say hello. We would talk about his kids a little bit, and that was kinda it.
Also, my first impression was that Gerald always had a fucking scheduled tweet.
Oh yeah,
I think I've talked
did.
about it before
Yep.
where it's going to be May. scheduled for May the 1st.
Okay, my
It's
tweet
scheduled
though.
out for like 17
Yeah,
years. You
My
guys.
tweet was making fun of the people that were scheduled
Yeah.
doing this.
All I know is
It's gonna
it
be
was
May.
December and you had already had it scheduled out.
I did.
I was like, all right.
I did have.
And then
it
my first
scheduled.
impression of Lindsay was, I don't really know if I had like an impression. It was just like, who is this girl? Okay, cool. And then I tried to talk to you like once or twice, and you were just like, yeah. And then that was it. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like
It wasn't great.
It wasn't.
But listen, to
Uh-huh.
I'm terrified what she's going to say about
when
me.
I met Espo, it was different.
Mm.
When I met the two of you, it was at the Suns, and I was in the thick of it, y'all.
Yeah, I know,
So
I know.
like, unless you just kind of forced yourself into my bubble and we just like became fast friends, like I didn't have the capacity to be like, Gerald, tell me about your life.
No.
Saul, who
No.
are you? What
Right.
makes you who you are? Like I just didn't.
Yeah.
So it was like, I will say hi to you. Like we're cool. I like you guys from what I know, but like I don't have the capacity to be like, let's do all the things and become best friends because I was just trying to keep my head above water.
What she's saying is you guys weren't Kellen Olsen. So.
No,
This is true.
Kellen
This is true.
Kellen just forced his way into the bubble, and I was like, "Cool, we're best
Yeah.
friends now."
Yeah.
Like Kellen Olsen.
Like you literally just got to be like, "We're gonna be best friends." I pick you, and then that's it.
Listen,
That's
this is
how it works.
this is straight up for Kellen Olsen. Okay, Kellen Olsen is very quiet.
He's the homie though.
He's very, very humble, right?
Mhm.
There's two things that broke the ice between Kellen Olsen and I. Number one, I got him from Sour Patch Kids because I heard somehow that they were his favorite, so I got him a bag. I went over, I slid him over, and it was like he was just like, "Well, thanks, dude," and then that was it. And then after that, it was fun. And then I knew I got him because the next week he goes, "Hey," because I was doing Bally's highlights, right? And Tana Hughes, who we all
used to
love,
did socials
yes,
for the Suns.
got smoked in the head by a basketball.
Oh, I remember
And he was like,
that.
"Dude, did they get that on video?" And I was like, "They did." He was like, "Can I get that?" I was like, "Yes." So I sent it to him, and then he sent it to them. And she was just like, "Damn it!"
Oh
that's
my
awesome.
goodness.
Okay, so I remember Saul reached out to me in DM, and I wasn't working in sports anymore at the time.
I slid into his DMs.
Yeah, I knew he was over at Bally's. I was like, yeah, I'll go talk. Like, I don't know what I have to offer. Like, because I talked with a lot of younger people in the game. You know, they asked me my advice and stuff. So I show up to lunch, and I'm gonna be honest, my first thought was, Saul's older than I thought. Like, I was like, well, no, because
Awesome.
to be fair, you look at it, he graduated U of A, what, 2012?
Yeah, 2018.
Or 18. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh, is this one? Because I got a lot of kids from Cronkite and stuff that would ask to go to lunch and stuff. So, and I met you, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I was more comfortable because I was like, oh, I'm not talking to some 20-year-old
No.
that's like trying to pump me for information on the business.
right.
I'm talking to talk to a
No,
peer.
I was looking at Espo as a potential replacement for somebody that was working for us at Fox Sports Arizona at the time. So
All right, Lindsay, lay it on me. I'm sure it's not good. So
What the
your
first
impression
reaction?
of me.
No, I thought it was the same thing as them. Like you weren't overly like outgoing or anything like that, but I think that was about the gist of it. But when you and I met, I was that kid who was like, "Can I bump you for
That's
information
true. You were
about the
radio.
industry?"
I had a lot of those.
I was
yeah.
like, "No,
Yeah.
but for real though, can I have a job?"
I'm not lying though. When you were over at the Coyotes multiple times, I did say, I'm sick of being the face of these videos because nobody wants to see me talking about this shit. We need to hire Lindsay, who's good at it and knows what she's talking about on that front, because I'm tired of it. I did not want to be that person. We just had nobody on staff,
Yeah.
and I wanted to hire you. So.
Well, I appreciate that because maybe you putting my name out there so many times is what actually led to that coming
don't
to
blame me
fruition.
for that.
And
Don't blame
no,
me.
listen, there were ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. There's ups and downs throughout life in general, but I loved my time at the Suns.
Mhm.
I did. I had an absolute blast. Brian sent us a super chat, said, I met Lindsay once and she asked me about Kelly Oubre.
straight face.
Straight
Straight
face.
face.
Yeah. I don't think that it was that you were like mean or anything. I think it was just intimidating because you were like Lindsey Smith of the Suns. And so like when you like didn't say hello to me, I was like,
Yeah,
To be
I
fair
would
with
say
Gerald-
you did have a presence.
Well, thank
Like-
you.
like-
I appreciate that.
yeah,
That's the
especially-
nicest thing you guys have ever said to
Like
me.
she had a presence because she was like, she would like dictate where they were going to go, like for the interviews and stuff like
Right.
that. And she would like boss the cameraman around and stuff like that.
To be fair, Bob is
See,
one
I
of my
worded
best
that.
friends.
I'm kidding,
love
I'm kidding.
Bob.
No, they're all great people. They're
They
tremendous people. And so like that was my first impression too, was just like, you just were in charge.
To be fair with the two of you two, I saw you more on game days,
Right.
and that was the like busiest time.
Yeah.
So like when the reason why I was able to, I feel like bond with Kellen easier is because on practice days we'd literally just sit there
For like 30 minutes.
for hours.
Yeah.
No, honestly, sometimes it was like we'd be down there for an hour and a half, just sitting around waiting for practice to end to go in. So
Yep.
we had plenty of time. We were forced to have conversations to
No.
some capacity.
And once I started like making an effort of like talking to you and trying to like make, bridge that gap or whatever, then I was like, oh, she's nice. She's approachable.
Yay!
She doesn't,
We did it.
Well, what-
she's not high and mighty above the rest of us.
No.
But what you're saying is when you first met her,
I'm awkward. I'm
she
nervous.
was no Espo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Espo and I tried to talk to Lindsay several times about podcast ideas that we had.
And then she said, "How much are you paying?
And-
Nothing.
and-
Okay.
and
bye."
along
Hold
the way,
on.
along the way,
Hold on.
wait, along the way, Lindsay politely was just like, yeah, it sounds interesting. Just let me know when you vet it out a little bit more. And then that was it. And it was just like, she wants money. Sorry.
To be fair, didn't you? But also, at that point in time when you guys reached out, there were a lot of calls coming in about, hey, do you want to do this? It's not paid, but it's got potential. And I'm just like, listen, guys, listen. There are only so many things I can do in this world for free.
Show me the money.
And at some point, I got to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So says Jay says, I was starstruck when I first met Espo and still am every time I see him.
so sweet. The sweetest.
I pay him hourly now, though, when I see
Do
him.
you?
So, yeah. Lawyers, don't get any other ideas.
All right, who's got our next question?
Come on.
I could do one.
Okay.
What if you were put in charge of minorly inconveniencing all the jerks of the world? What would you do?
Can
Hmm.
I pick multiple or do I have to pick one?
Start with one so you don't steal from everybody else.
Okay.
Minorly inconvenient.
I would deactivate all their credit cards.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a pain in the butt.
So no matter what, they would swipe or they would tap and it would never work.
And then you always got to be updating all your like
Yeah.
subscriptions, all the things you have on auto pay. The most
Mhm.
annoying thing when you have to
Yeah.
to set up a new credit card. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I would say one of your tires in your car is always low. So you have to stop all the time to air it up. It's just constantly having to stop and do this thing that nobody wants to do.
Hmm. I would make it so that the smoke detector in their house, when it does that beep
Oh.
Yeah.
every now and then,
My
but it's
dogs.
not like going off, because that would be just unbelievably insane. But just the one like every 30 to 45 seconds.
Beep.
Beep. Beep.
Yep.
And you're like, what do you need?
Yes.
But they could never fix it, even if they change the
Nope.
batteries.
I would be so mad at you.
My dogs
So
lose their
mad at
mind every single time, and it makes me lose my mind every single time.
Yes.
I have two, but I think the one I'm going to go with is every half an hour, on the half an hour, they get a text asking, "Hey, I was in your neighborhood. Are you interested in
Oh
selling
my
your house?"
God.
And it
Oh,
just
man.
keeps
No.
coming, and they can't block them. It's a
Oh,
different
man.
number every time.
Okay, that's a good one because the second one I was thinking was I would send like salespeople to their house every single day.
Oh man.
Every single day, some random person is ringing your doorbell wanting to sell you something. I'm literally the type of person who's like, I will duck down from all the windows and like crawl to a hiding place to
I have-
avoid answering the door.
I have a no soliciting sign in front of my walkway,
Mm.
and when they ring it, that's the thing I say. I'm just like, "You see the sign, right?" And then I just shut up,
Yeah.
and then they just leave.
The other one is I'd put them on the no-fly list.
Mm.
No flowers.
It's just annoying enough that you can't
That's a-
travel.
I don't know if
easily.
that's minor. That's a pretty
That's,
major
that's kind
inconvenience.
of a major one
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, I can't go overseas. Cool.
I can't,
For
I
sure.
can't fly anywhere.
Yeah.
Guess I'm driving. Like,
I would do no matter where they drove or walked, there would be someone slower in front of them that
Oof.
they couldn't get around.
Oof.
That shit drives me nuts.
That's a good one.
You're walking down a hall and you're in a hurry, and two people are just fucking living their lives
Or on a,
oblivious.
like, okay, the 10, obviously going like southeast is 2 lanes most of the way.
Mhm.
You always, the people who just drive next to each other in both lanes
Yes.
going like 64
Yes.
miles an hour
God.
or 74, whatever it is. And I'm just like, can you please just move?
Like when a semi passes another semi and it takes them like
Okay,
5
when
minutes.
a semi passes a normal car, though,
Oh, yeah.
even
That's
worse.
worse.
Like, what's going on here?
How about this? Anytime you have to make a turn on a road, it becomes basically the 10 when you come around the curve trying to get on 7th Street, which is like a death slalom. You're like trying to cut over 3 lanes of traffic. Everybody's switching.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like NASCAR, but without any of the skill of drivers.
Yeah.
Triple B says our smoke detector batteries always seem to go bad at 2:00 in the morning.
Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like they know.
Yeah. Last week, I had 2 of the smoke alarms in my house just randomly go off. One in the room and then one in like a hallway. And I was like freaking out because I'm like, is something happening? Why are these smoke detectors just going off?
Yeah.
Do I need to get in the attic? Is it coming from up there? Like, what's happening? It was the worst thing ever. All right. Gerald, would you like to go next or do you want me to go next?
Yeah, no, I could go next.
Okay.
All right. If you could be a professional, like the best of the best in any profession outside of sports, what would you do?
Ooh, filmmaking.
Ooh, that's a good one,
Nice.
Saul.
Yeah, I would love to
that'd
make
be so
films.
fun.
Nice.
That would be pretty
Yes.
cool.
So we could team up because I was going to say screenwriting.
There you
Ooh.
go.
I would love to write quality scripts. It's always
Yes.
been something I wanted to do.
Those are really good answers, you guys.
Mhm.
I feel like my basic answer would probably be at this point like pottery. Like being a master potter would
Yeah.
be super dope.
Well, you
Goes
got
with
the
it.
Harry Potter hat.
Hey-o, halfway there.
Well, actually, it's funny. I was gonna say like a screenwriter or story writer, but to keep it fresh, my second backup was rock band, like be a musician,
Okay.
like a
Ooh,
guitar
that
player.
would be
I
good.
thought you meant
That
like
would be
just
dope.
super good at the video game.
That's my life.
I'm like, what
Rock
a-
band.
What a waste.
No, but I love rock music, so being like a guitarist or a drummer or lead singer would be pretty dope.
Yes. Okay, we had a couple cool ones in the chat. Charles said astronaut. That
Mhm.
would be dope. Triple B said fortune teller with the laughing face emoji, but low key,
Yeah.
that's kind of a great one if you could actually do it.
Anybody
could
can be a
actually do
fortune
it.
No, no,
teller.
no. I mean, like in real life, like for real, for real.
Stoner Kitcher says, imagine having Eskimos wee you as a smoke detector.
Yes, I'm in a new business.
It would actually be kind of funny though.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Your turn.
My turn for a question?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Buckle up.
Okay.
Your house has 4 magic doors in it, and each door can open up to a different city anywhere in the world. Here are the rules, though.
Mhm.
Only people inside your house can utilize these doors. Each door goes right back into your house, so you don't need to pick a city that is Phoenix, right?
Okay.
And you cannot cheat and say, well, I want one to be a revolving door that just bounces around to these. No, it's just one city
Okay.
for the rest of your life. So you have 4 magic doors that lead to 4 different cities wherever you want. What 4 cities are you picking?
Damn.
New York City,
Mm.
Rome, Toronto.
Mhm.
I loved Toronto when I was there. And then this one will be unpopular, but a deserted island because sometimes I just need some damn space.
I just
all
need
right?
to be alone.
This man was like, I need to get away from civilization.
Well, I asked him first, is Chernobyl still radioactive? Because I'm pretty sure I could be alone there. And when they said yes, I went deserted island.
Oh, my
man.
goodness. All right.
Okay.
Do you guys need more time? Are you
No, go
good?
ahead.
I got mine.
Okay.
Florence, Italy. And a lot of people don't know this about Italy. You could fit the whole country of Italy inside the state of Texas. So it's pretty small. You can drive most places.
Right.
So
You can bounce
that would
around.
have my Italian roots covered in every city there. Phuket City in Thailand. That's where we're going to be honeymooning. So
Ooh, fun.
excited to go there. Kyoto, Japan looks absolutely insane. It's pretty far from Tokyo. I was torn between those two, but
Well, I picked Tokyo, so I'm glad you didn't pick it.
okay. Yeah. Kyoto has like really cool style and architecture and stuff. And then Sydney, Australia. So I've
Okay.
always wanted to go to Australia.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine would be San Francisco
Mhm.
because I love San Francisco. The Amalfi Coast is
Yes.
the other one. I'm also going to Japan, but I'm going to Disney Japan.
Ooh,
Okay.
but that'll be so fun. I've heard
Yeah.
it's dope.
Yeah. And then my fourth one, I was kind of in, he had already picked New York. I don't want to run into Espo. So I will go with, we'll just say Paris.
Okay.
New York City's a pretty big place. We could pick two separate corners of the city
You
to have our
could.
doors in, right? My wife is not happy that I said deserted island.
Cool, dude. Peace out.
You
Okay.
can come too. It's some people I need to get away from.
So this is one of those questions that I feel like you should ask like at a party or ask your significant other, because I think it could really spark like some crazy fun conversations.
Mhm.
So I picked Tokyo, Japan,
Mhm.
and Gerald, I was kind of torn, but I figured I feel like I needed a city on 4 different continents, basically is where my head was at.
Okay.
Because it's close enough to get to, like you'd have to take a flight, of course, but like you could go to China, you could go to Thailand.
Mhm.
Australia is a little bit of a trek, but you could still, it's closer than where we are now
Right.
to that side of the world. Then I picked Casablanca, Morocco, because I heard it's gorgeous. I heard it's got amazing food. I want to go so bad. And then kind of your same idea, like it's in the north, like coastal side of Africa, but like right below Europe and all that stuff. So you could really easily bounce around those two
Right.
places. And then I'm going to go Rio de Janeiro in Brazil to cover the South American continent.
There you go.
And then the only reason why I picked this is because I couldn't come up with a better option. But you know how people are always like, I'm just craving the sun. I need to be out in the sun. I feel like that, but with like gloomy, rainy weather with fog.
Oh, so like Washington
Portland,
State.
Oregon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or
Seattle.
Washington,
Yeah,
whichever one.
Mm.
But somewhere on that side, like the coast where you could go up and down
Yeah.
and you could just find like big, giant, green, luscious trees, fog.
Yeah.
Like I just want to be able to bounce out there and just sit.
You and I are
In
very
that.
much the same in that regard. Like I love the sun, but I don't know. Clouds just give me a vibe.
I
Like
feel
I always
like-
just feel different.
Growing
I
up
feel like
here, I
it allows for more creativity. Like,
It
I don't know
does.
why, but for me, I am my most creative when there's a thunderstorm or it's overcast or whatever. I feel like I just want to use my hands and make something.
Because I'm in my feels.
Maybe.
So I'm like,
I
I'm
mean,
most
maybe.
creative when I'm in my fields. I had
It very well
Dublin.
could be that.
I had Dublin on my list for a similar reason because
Okay.
it's so green, but it's overcast a lot of the time.
Yeah. I need to feel like I'm in like an Addams Family movie or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I really screwed up looking back at this with New York and Toronto.
They're
I
pretty
Because I
almost
could
picked
close.
New
run a
York.
train,
This
I
is
could
true.
drive.
You were
like,
Oh,
really
you're so
close.
close till you
to-
fucked it up.
Yeah.
I should have went with San Juan, Puerto Rico instead
Okay.
of
Okay.
Toronto or
There
New
you
York.
go.
Probably
Yeah.
Toronto. Because I loved Puerto Rico when I was there and traveled there.
Yeah.
God, 10 years ago now.
That would be a
so-
blast.
Yeah.
Another great door that you guys could pick would be the Four Peaks Pub in Tempe, because
Haunted.
you could literally haunted ghost tours, you get
Mhm.
brewery tours, you get chicken tenders whenever you want, and of course, fantastic beer whenever you want. So I wouldn't blame you if you picked Four Peaks as one of your magic doors in your house. Make sure you give Four Peaks a follow on social at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You do have to be 21 in order to drink Four Peaks beer, and we ask that you please drink responsibly. But of course, anybody can partake in the delightful food that they have up there. All right, can I go again?
Sure.
Because this next question is going to be sponsored by OGs, because I feel like this question is the type of question that you have maybe when you're partaking in some OGs, where you just let your mind wander a little bit to some of the weirder things,
Mhm.
right? We love our friends over at OGs. And if you're having a hard time figuring out which flavor you want to get for your OGs bag, have no fear. OGs has you covered with their mixed bags. So you get all the fruits and all the cream flavors in that. They are also available in both the Sunny Sativa or the Mellow Indica blend. So you have options there as well. We highly recommend you check out OGs online at ogsbrands.com and on Instagram at ogsbrands. You can also find their products at your local dispensary. But again, you must be 21 years or older to purchase. Okay, so what is that one thing, or multiple things if you have it, in life that you just cannot grasp? Like you can't wrap your head around how. Like logically it makes sense, the physics makes sense, the science makes sense, all of that. Like you get it, but like in your head you're like, there's no way though. Like this shouldn't work.
Mine is where does all the trash go in the world?
Mhm.
Like there's just so much trash.
Mhm.
Where does it all go? Like
Yeah.
when they take it from my house, I know that they take it to a landfill, but
Doesn't that
like,
fill up
yeah.
eventually?
yeah,
It's a
Yes,
great
and they
question.
put parks on them, which is the weirdest thing to me. Is
crazy.
a city dump fills up, and then they they build a park on top of it. I'm like, this is bizarre.
They do? I didn't know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So they just bury it.
I mean, not everyone,
basically?
but that happens a lot. There's a handful
I didn't know
in
that.
the East Valley like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dump I grew up in Chandler is now a park for kids. I'm like,
Okay.
That doesn't
I didn't
seem
grow
right.
up in the dump.
You
Let's be clear. The dump
you
we
said
took
the
our
dump I
stuff
grew
into
up on in
Chandler.
Chandler,
From
and
the
I'm like,
ashes.
all right.
Of all the trashes.
Like the place we went to dump our stuff.
That's
where we were
I mean,
as a
that
kid.
would be why you're full of shit half the time.
So, well, that would be if I were a plumber.
I'm joking. He set himself up for it. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Do you two have an answer? Do you want me to go first? What do you think?
I have. You got one?
I have a couple.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
just atoms and like science in general, like the fact that this shit is happening at a molecular level and people know what's happening at that level blows my mind. I don't understand how they know it. Science was always my
Oppenheimer.
least favorite. Yeah. It was always my least favorite subject because I was just like, I can't wrap my head around these things
Yeah.
happening on a chemical level. And
You're
all
like, I
this
hear
stuff.
what you're saying, but
Like,
like how though?
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand that you're right, but like I don't know.
yeah.
Like when I'm high,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm not
No.
trying to pigeonhole this, but when I'm high, and Totri and I have the same thoughts, we really get lost in like, dude, like when you die, like you're dead. Like there's nothing, like you don't even have, like you just, I can't wrap
You're
my
just
head around
dead.
it. You're just like, there's
But
that,
like
that's it.
what's next though?
Like, yeah, like, do I just, what?
hmm
I just, yeah.
I get like that without being high. Let's be honest about it. To me, it's the concept of money, and I'm sure I'm going to wind up on some government list for saying this, but
No.
like the whole concept of everything is guided by this fictitious concept that some human beings came up with, thousands of years ago.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
we're all beholden to the concept of money when it means nothing.
I thought you were going
Literally, we
somewhere
can give
else.
stuff to everybody. Like the concept of money means nothing.
Yeah.
The piece of paper is worth nothing.
Mhm.
The credit card that's just sending electronic digits everywhere means nothing.
It's all made
Like-
up at the end of the day.
Right.
Like you guys saw Fight. You saw Fight Club, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the whole concept that if all those credit card companies and banks were just destroyed, everything disappears. Like
Right.
there's nothing tangible about
Like
it.
we don't have gold buried under our houses. We just have
Right.
numbers in a bank account
It's like,
that
oh,
tell us how much we have.
It's built on trust. Well, you know what? I don't trust the system. So do I have more now?
What
Like-
if I don't trust you though?
The tinfoil hat's coming back out. I would also like to submit the placebo effect and
Okay.
deja vu.
Yeah.
What's the placebo effect?
It's when you're like,
Like if I
Give-
tell you I'm giving you aspirin, but it's not, it's just a sugar pill, but then
Oh,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, my headache's gone.
right.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's wild to me.
Also
It
full of
is.
shit.
And it's crazy, but it works all the time on people.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But that's the power of the brain.
That
I
is
think
the
more
power of the
than-
brain.
It's
Right.
like when you go out to eat for the first time and you go to some restaurant, right? And no matter what, the first bite somebody takes, you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I'm like, is it though? Is it? Or have you just been conditioned to think that because you're paying a stupid ass price for this food, you think it's automatically great? It's not.
Well, why are you paying the price for it? They should give it to you for
No.
free. Like,
What bad restaurant did you go to recently?
I went to this barbecue place in Vegas.
Come on.
Hey,
Again?
hey, Lindsay,
It
at this barbecue
It
place.
wasn't my fault. I was trying to do us all a solid, okay? I had the most amount of capacity to be able to look up a place. I just tried to find somewhere on the way and it had a bajillion 5-star reviews. It's not my fault.
And her revenge for not having good barbecue in Vegas was to make me cook barbecue back in
That is
Arizona
true.
next week.
Okay, so Jeff took mine in the chat.
Mhm.
Jeff said how giant boats float. Like,
Yeah.
it is, I quite literally cannot get over how insane this is. Like, okay, so outside of the Warriors Arena in San Francisco, there's like a little port or where you can see some big like shipping boats.
Mhm.
And then in California, if you've ever been to San Pedro, I believe, you have to kind of go over this bridge thing and it's a port and it's all like these cargo ships. They are so incredibly massive and they're just made out of steel. And then they've got steel containers full of just a bunch of stuff stacked all the way up as high as you can possibly see.
Mhm.
And they just freaking float. And like, I get it, like the physics, the buoyancy,
Buoyancy,
all
yeah.
that stuff. I understand. But we're talking about tons and tons and tons of pounds of metal just floating across an ocean. And then if you've ever gone down a rabbit hole at 2 a.m. on TikTok watching boats in the middle of the ocean dead at night where it's pitch black all around and this wave just goes over the boat and the boat's just like, bloop, I'm good. Like, what?
Boats.
Boats. Can we hear that sound effect
It
again?
blows my mind. And I know that everyone, whenever I bring this up to anybody, they're like, but planes are way more like crazy than a boat. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but a plane is just a plane. Like a boat is just so insane to me. Like it blows my mind and I will die on this hill.
Wow.
I'm so passionate about this topic, obviously.
Have you ever thought about this though? This setup? How does anything from this get to anybody out there?
Phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
It disseminates and then it comes back and you're like,
It's like Willy
none
Wonka.
of this makes
Like
sense.
anything
like Willy
with
Wonka.
wires.
Yeah.
It's like Willy Wonka.
Oh
We're big
my
here,
God.
and then we're small over there.
Like somebody in Japan could be watching this right now. How does it get from here to there? Like I don't.
Yeah, like anything involving wires. I'm like, how does that transmit
No.
something from there to there?
It's like we're playing a giant game of the tin cup and the string, and it works across the world. It just, like, I know, obviously, the people who are putting all this type of stuff together are far smarter than I could ever imagine to be, but it's just crazy.
Yeah.
When you really sit back and you think about it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, who's got the next question?
I don't need to be high for this show.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's. I have. Where's my other one here? I got another one for you guys. If somebody offered you a free house, but all the walls were see-through, would you take it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, I'm like that. Hey, I don't care if you're looking in. That's your problem, not mine.
Well, I mean, like, I know that there might be rules to this, like, theoretical question, but, like, curtains also exist.
It's true, but honestly,
Yeah.
if you're looking in, that's your problem, not mine. I'm just in my house. You're the one that's looking in.
Yeah, I feel like you got to take the free real estate and you can
Yeah.
do whatever you want with it.
I think so, too. I mean, even it would be kind of cool, to be honest with you. Like, even if you couldn't, like, if, let's say, in this theoretical question, you couldn't use curtains or whatever,
Mhm.
it could still be kind of an interesting house, depending on how you styled everything within it, too. You could make it almost like a museum, like a destination thing that people want to go see.
Like a premier Airbnb spot.
I mean, something like that,
Or
right?
just tear
Could be
it down
cool.
and build a new house there. Like
You own the land now.
yeah, you don't turn down the free thing just because it might be a little inconvenient.
I mean, this is
Yeah,
very
true.
true. Absolutely. Okay, who's next?
I'll go next.
'Kay.
So if you could bring back one person, not personal, but any person in history from the dead, and they would come back from the dead at the age that they died, who would it be?
At the age that they died?
At
Yes.
the age that they died.
Ooh.
And not somebody that you know personally, so
Right.
like not a family member?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Man, at the age that they died. That's a good one.
Mine would be John Lennon,
Okay.
but there's a caveat. Why?
Why'd you laugh?
I have this theory that if the Beatles had gotten back together and they played music for years and years, like any of those bands, like The Who or any of these bands that were big at the time that kept playing,
Mhm.
they wouldn't be the greatest band of all time.
Mhm.
I think they had such a fast burn for so quick, and then it was over,
Mhm.
that it encapsulated them as this great phenomenon. And I really think if John Lennon lives, they get back together sometime in the 80s and they keep playing sporadically through the 1990s, 2000s, they're not viewed that way anymore.
Man, that's
So I just want to see my theory play
You just
Yeah.
want to know if you're correct or not.
Yeah.
mine would probably be Martin Luther King.
Okay.
And this is
That's a
going to
good
sound
one.
really fucked up. It's either him or Len Bias
Okay. Oh, that's another
for
good
different
one.
reasons.
Yeah.
Obviously, Martin Luther King, just because he died in his 30s,
Mm.
and obviously he was a big civil rights activist. I don't have to tell you guys who that is, obviously.
As he said,
Give us your favorite quote.
darkness.
Martin Luther King said, "Darkness." But then, like Len Bias, because the legend out there was that Len Bias was every bit as good as Michael Jordan was in college and could have equaled his output during his career. Plus, he would have been joining a legendary Celtics team who already had Bird, McHale, and Parrish, and it was just ridiculous. So
Mhm.
That would have been kind of cool to see.
Okay, so Stoner, Kitchen, and Shumail in the chat are on the same page as I am. They both said Tupac for a couple different reasons. And again, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know all of Tupac's history and like all the things. But outside of the music in and of itself, which everyone I think absolutely enjoyed, who he was as a person and who I think he could have become as a person, I think he could have had a huge impact on society as a whole with who his mom was.
Tupac?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem was
and
that
he didn't care. Like he was very against the norm and he didn't care if he pushed back. So like I know there might be some things, but I think had he had more time to grow up, it could have been
maybe because
he could have been a really impactful person in history.
There's definitely two versions of Tupac, especially at the beginning of his career. He was very much of what you're talking about. Like he wanted more activism in the community. He wanted people to be able, like he did not like that rich people were rich people and wouldn't give back and stuff like that. Towards the end, after he came out of prison again, like that's when he kind of went to the bad place and was with Death Row and Suge Knight and all that stuff, and everything just kind of spiraled out of control and led to bad things. So but
I feel like and this might just be me wishful thinking, like you were saying with your theory, Espo, that had he been given an opportunity to grow up some and like really figure out what he believed in truly, it could have been an interesting figure in history and the impact that he had. So that was my thought.
Go ahead.
I was because somebody said Heath Ledger, and from a selfish standpoint, I really would love to have seen what the Dark Knight Rises was, because the Joker would have been back, and that Nolan refuses to say what his original plan was out of respect for Heath Ledger's passing, and I've always been fascinated with what would that have been.
Yeah, there are a lot of great answers. Like MLK is probably the right one. Like you could go like Heath Ledger, Abe Lincoln, JFK. Heath Ledger and Chadwick Boseman are similar to me. Like Chadwick Boseman's kind of the Marvel version of that. Like the MCU has kind of fallen apart since then, and he was supposed to be a central figure in that. So from a selfish reason, like that one's up there. But my top two are Bob Marley and Robin Williams. Like Bob Marley died at 36, and Robin Williams was like, that was one of those celebrity deaths that like hurt me. Like as like everybody has one or two that you're just like, man.
Kobe.
Yeah. So that one, having Robin Williams back would be.
There's a movie of Bob Marley coming out.
Is there?
Yeah. There's. I'm surprised you didn't see it when you saw Oppenheimer. There was a preview of it.
Really?
In the theaters.
At my theater didn't have previews.
You just started the movie?
Yeah, it literally just started.
The IMAX ones jumped straight
I had
into
no
it,
idea.
Oh, okay.
We got there, and then somebody came out and was like, we're going to start the movie in 15 minutes to give more people time to get into their seats. And then they started the movie, and I was like, wait, there's no previews here?
Yeah.
It just literally went right into the movie.
Someone said Selena also. That's a good one, too.
This is a little offshoot of this, but when you look at photos of people from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and you see somebody that's 35, they look so much older than a 35-year-old looks now. You're like, wow, life was harder is what it looks like, much harder.
All right, so we have another question. So do you have one more, or who has got one more?
I did have one more.
You have one more? Okay.
I forgot what it was.
We'll think about it for a second. And I think Emma might have one more for us too. But listen, the Arizona Cardinals season is literally here, you guys. And there's going to be some really cool things that our friends over at PHNX Cardinals and the BetMGM Sportsbook out at State Farm Stadium are cooking up for everybody, specifically the diehards at PHNX as well, but for everybody, of course. But make sure you're not missing out on all the great stuff that is to come, not just for football season, but I'm sure NBA season will be out there a whole lot as well with some cool events. So first and foremost, make sure you sign up for the BetMGM Sportsbook app, and make sure you sign up with that code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live, but for our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses. And you can also check out the show note for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 Nevada, 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan, 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico, in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
Being a diehard also has a ton of perks. And like I was saying, some cool perks happening at BetMGM Sportsbook out at State Farm Stadium. Saul, you want to kind of give us the lowdown?
Yeah, for the Cardinals games, home games, diehards get to get into the tailgate for free. It's just that simple. You got to download the BetMGM Sportsbook app, use promo code PHNX, and then also be a diehard, and you get to come hang with us. Food and beer will be provided at no charge, which is dope as hell. So, yeah, it's going to be another added benefit for our diehards.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of you this year if you're going to come out and hang with us out there in the sun and have a good time. So check us out. You can go to gophnx.com by becoming a diehard, to become a diehard, I should say. Plus, you get a free shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You get all these cool things that you've probably been seeing all over Twitter and stuff like that. People posting their own goodie boxes that they've been getting, which is awesome. Thank you all for doing that. It just encourages more people to become diehards and become part of our community, because this is what it's all about. We just like to kick it, hang out, have a good time, and enjoy our favorite teams together. So please become a diehard at gophnx.com.
Yes. Plus, you get access to the Discord, which is super fun.
Mhm.
Okay. Couple final questions here. Saul, did you remember yours? What you got for us?
Yes. I don't know if we've answered this before, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
What's your biggest regret in life? Man, everybody took a deep breath.
I don't believe in
That's
regrets.
a heavy question.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
That's a heavy question. Do you have an answer already?
Mine's silly, yeah.
Go. What's yours?
My biggest regret is that I didn't see through football.
Okay.
Like my freshman year at Marcos, I was the starting quarterback. We went 7-1. I'm certain I would have started on varsity that next year, but I really loved basketball too much. And so I quit. And when I quit, the head coach of the varsity team got pissed and kicked a basketball at me. So that was fun. But yeah, I always thought I don't know. I always thought that if I would have stuck it out, I think I would have been able to play in college at a higher level in football than I did in basketball. So that was my biggest regret. I could have thrown a football over those mountains.
Hey-o.
I mean, everybody, you all think it's cheesy, but I knew my wife 11 years before I ever asked her out, and it was a lot of self-confidence crap. So I wish I had asked her out earlier, because as you start to get older, you start to realize there's only so much time in this world, right? And, wasting any of it out of fear is just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so this is a tough one because Elizabeth in the chat said not studying abroad in undergrad. And I feel like while I'm thankful I didn't, because I was able to start my career in college. And so I think all of that kind of snowballed to be able to have the career I have today. I do kind of wish I had taken more time when I was younger to travel. I never did, because I was just like, oh, I'm poor. I'll eventually have money and I'll be able to do it. But I would rather have traveled poor and gone more places and probably had more fun if you travel that way. You have one backpack, you're staying in hostels, you're meeting cool people. I think that could have been a really unique experience that I don't know that you can have when you're a little bit older. So it's a catch-22, because then would I have missed out on things career-wise and would I not be where I am today? And I probably would be really upset about that too. And then maybe that would have been my biggest regret at that point. But I do think that there is something to be said, when you are really young and don't know how you can do it, to just figure it out and make it happen.
Yeah.
there's just I don't know.
There's a resiliency.
Yeah.
There is.
It's just easier.
You're not worn down by life.
Yeah, exactly. And things are it's so much bigger and grander and shinier, and just you, I think, have more later in life, you realize how valuable those experiences were.
Damn,
you know
Lindsay,
what I mean?
you're talking like you're 75 years old right now, man.
I'm an
you
old
got me feeling
soul,
you got me feeling some type of way right now. Damn, I should not have asked this question, because now I'm like, oh man, my whole life is gone.
No, I just have an old soul. I've always had one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was mine, like not traveling more when I was younger, because now you're getting like you're very career oriented. And like we in this job basically only get to travel end of July, August, and then September training camp is right around the corner. So we got like a 1 or 2 month window to travel. And it just
says the man that when are you going on your honeymoon? March?
in August of next
you're
year.
waiting
Oh,
until
he's waiting to August.
okay. That's
No,
You got something to
All
say,
right, thank
Max?
Oh no, when Lindsay was saying that, I just kept on thinking the song. I'm 45 for the
I don't need you singing, all right?
Max is
No,
singing
Max
a
is
song.
singing.
It's
Yeah.
really bad.
Be thankful
really
that you
bad.
didn't have to hear
Yeah.
it. I'm just kidding, Max.
Max doesn't understand picking up a mic, but
I think
it's cool.
I think one other thing for me is my dad is an accountant, and when I was young, start investing,
I
and
mean,
I wish
yeah,
I had
that's
done that
always
at
a thing.
18 and listened to him, because 40 would be a lot easier. So
But again, like, no, never mind. I'm not going to open that can of worms.
There
We
was
could go down a deep rabbit hole with that.
Yeah, that's true. I honestly, like the other thing that I would have said was just the ability to understand yourself a little bit better. Like when you're young, you don't know shit, and you just think that you have all the answers to everything. But
I think that that's a rite of passage almost for everybody, right?
But I think there were certain circumstances earlier in my life where I wish I would have had a little bit more, humbleness about myself to realize that I had some bad traits or whatever that I should fix, and it didn't get fixed until later on in life, and then it changed everything. So I think we always have regrets, but
Saul, I think both you and I still have plenty of those kind of tendencies that we still have time to fix.
we all do. We all do.
Okay, so we can either end on that little bit of a somber note,
we can't do
or
that.
Emma has a question for us that we can kind of add the chaos back
Emma,
into this
Hopefully
before we
it's
say
not
goodbye.
down.
Existential,
I hope
like-
it's not. I hope it's not bad, like depressing.
He took us to a whole nother realm.
Sorry,
Saul.
guys.
Do you guys have reoccurring nightmares?
No.
I don't think I have reoccurring nightmares, but I have had some scary dreams.
Does it count if it's not a nightmare. I have a recurring dream. Yeah, I do.
Oh, can you tell us?
So it's always it's so stupid. You guys are gonna fucking
Dreams are
you guys
stupid,
are gonna,
though.
You're
All
gonna
of them
roll
are.
your eyes at me, I swear.
It's gonna
I
be a
promise
basketball
this is a
thing,
true
isn't it?
thing. No matter what, I always have a reoccurring dream that like I'm gonna kiss a girl. And it's like always a celebrity. And I'm like always so fucking close. And every damn time I wake up. Every time. Right when it's about to happen. Every time.
This is where you say, I woke up next to my beautiful wife and realized I didn't need
No,
to
I'm
kiss
not
her.
cheesy like you, Espo. My wife has dreams. Like I'm not
Oh,
stupid.
God. Now we went to
Like-
a whole nother ballpark.
now you
it's
just
just
throw-
and there's always like this build up to it, right? And you're just like,
Oh
oh man,
my
she's
God.
really into me, or it's like something
That's
stupid,
so
like,
funny.
and just like I get turned down at the last
Um,
second because my fucking alarm goes off. It's like my subconscious knows to fuck with me.
Mhm.
I
Good
used
stuff.
to, when I was younger, have a dream that I was on the second level of Fiesta Mall and there was no railings, and I would inevitably fall off the second floor. Don't know why. Never figured it out. Always had
Did you wake up before you hit?
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise you die.
Well, yeah, isn't that the theory that if you die in
Yes.
your dream, you die in real life?
Well, if you,
I mean,
You know,
according
That's
to
the
like
theory.
Inception.
That's the theory. Has anybody
I
actually
don't
found
know,
that to be true?
But I feel like that's a tale that
they're not
that's
telling
old.
you if they
I
did.
feel like that's a tale that we've been told generationally, isn't it?
What? Have you ever fallen in a dream and remember hitting the ground?
No.
No.
I usually
remember-
like wake up
Yeah.
like my leg
Like a
jerks
jolt.
up like I hit the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that was ominous for your future in this industry, that where you're going there wouldn't be rails.
Rails, where we're going, we don't need rails.
I think for me, the only that I know I've had bad dreams. I just can't remember them all. But you wake up and you're like, what? I don't remember what that was, but I know that was not great.
Mhm.
But the only one that I can remember, and I've kind of had this off and on, at periods of time, my teeth falling out.
Oh, I've
Yes.
had that dream
Oh,
too.
that's not. Oh.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the
it's not good.
worst.
Oh.
Not good.
Because then, I've looked it up because I'm like, what does it mean when you dream about your teeth falling out? It basically means you're feeling insecure about the way, like your appearance and who you are and all that things, right? So that's where it supposedly stems from. But the worst part about it is that after I have those dreams, like the next 3 days, maybe again, like the placebo effect kind of like brain
Your
thing.
teeth are loose.
I feel like my teeth hurt. I feel like all of a sudden it's like, oh wait,
Like,
is it loose? Is it like, and it's so stressful and
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
stupid. But every single time, if I ever have that dream the next 3 days, I feel like my teeth hurt.
Since we're talking about dreams, I got a little bit of a funny story.
Okay.
So it was the first time I'd ever gone to the Pac-12 tournament, and me and a buddy had got in a room, and I came back from drinking all day at the pool, and I went to sleep. And in my dream, I had like these 3 like alien-like figures like fucking with me in my dream, right? And so when I woke up, or I was starting to kind of wake up a little bit, as in my dream the aliens were coming towards me, my roommate had come in the dark with 2 other people.
Oh no.
And I slightly opened up my eyes, and I kid you not, it's the only time in my life where I literally screamed like I screamed 3 times loud as shit. And Matt was just like, he paused in his tracks like, what the fuck? And I was just like, and I was so embarrassed that I just rolled over and went back to sleep again on the other side. I was just like, oh my God, I just screamed like a little girl. It was.
I think that's the funniest part. Is you screamed 3 times bloody murder, and then just like rolled over and went back to sleep. They were probably like, what demon possessed?
The probing is coming.
It was the same trip. It was the same trip where this guy Matt, it was funny as hell. He goes, he sees me the next morning. And he goes, dude, did you like hook up with somebody? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I heard you in the shower. And I was just like, dude, that was me throwing up. I was like, I don't know what kind of like relations you have, but I assure you that's not what any normal person would sound like in the middle of doing that.
Oh,
Just,
wow.
What must you look like naked if that's the reaction?
How does that sound like sex? I don't get it.
Oh no.
Jeez.
It's terrible.
Did you see
I'm just getting it in, I guess. I don't know.
Did you see Elizabeth's dream that she said she
Oh
had?
my God. No, what was
She
it?
consistently has a dream where Grimace, the character
Yeah,
from
from
McDonald's, kills her family.
You,
Oh my God.
You
Holy
made the
hell.
Grimace Challenge happen, Elizabeth. You manifested it into real life. The Grimace Challenge on TikTok was by far one of my favorite, like, little social media bits
Yeah.
that we've seen in a minute. 2 things from the chat. One, DRB, Dr. B said that about the teeth falling out dream.
Mhm.
Said that's a bad dream, Lindsay. In Native American tradition, that's one of the most like baddest dreams that you can have. And when that happens, elders usually tell you to get a ceremony done because it's very serious. So now I'm a little bit more
Oh,
concerned.
shit.
Dr.
3
B,
of
I
you
hope
have
you're being
experiences?
honest about that. But you guys both said you've had that, right? Have you too?
I have never had that, no.
You had it? Have you
That
had it?
and fingernail things happening to your fingernails.
No, I don't
and
think I've
dreams.
ever had that.
I never had that.
Maybe I need to look into this dream a little bit more. And then Stoner Kitchen asked, can any of you guys lucid dream?
Is that where you control the dream?
Where like
I
you
believe?
know you're in a dream?
Yes,
Every now and
I've
then.
had that.
Every
before.
once in a while, but not very often. And I can't fully remember it after either.
I hate it so much.
You
Really?
lucid dream?
I hate it because you don't know if it's like if it actually happened
Yeah.
or if it didn't happen. So
And then
you
you're
can
like,
have a
wait, did I
full-
dream that or did
Yeah.
I actually have that
You
conversation?
could have a full on like conversation with someone, like feel like you're in control, and then it didn't fucking happen.
I feel like
Yeah.
my problem with lucid dreams is I like try to control it too much, and then I start to lose control of it, and then it gets away from me, and then I wake up angry because I'm like, wait, that didn't go where I wanted the
Yeah.
dream to go.
Like trying to
Like,
kiss
I
a
was
celebrity and she
No,
walks
I was
away.
like, I was about to dunk in the NBA finals, and I got blocked. Like,
Oh,
what the hell?
rude. Oh, no. I've heard that if you can lucid dream, that you're not supposed to, I don't know if this is like folklore or whatever, but the theory is you're not supposed to ask like what day or time it is. You're not supposed to ask about specifics like that. And I don't think you're supposed to ask if they know who you are, people in your dream. You can't ask them if they know who you are, or else like bad stuff happens or something
like
that.
your brain melts or something. Like
I don't know exactly where it all stems from or what the kind of idea behind it, but I think it probably stems from, some sort of like spiritual thing type of thing is what I would guess. But don't do those, apparently. So just don't do those.
Interesting.
Yeah.
good to know.
Gerald, don't ask LeBron James if he knows he's playing against Gerald Bourguet.
No, that's fair.
Just let him pretend he's playing against whoever. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us today on this palate cleanser episode. I'm just going to give a shout out real quick to the chat.
Yeah.
I know we didn't read a ton of the things that you guys had dropped in there, but I was reading them throughout the show, like some fantastic little nuggets of information about you guys as well. And also, you guys have been really freaking nice today, which is super awesome.
It's really refreshing.
Not that you're not nice every day, just extra nice today. So we love you guys. So thank you for all of that. We'll see you on Monday. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can also follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
What if you had to have one song stuck in your head
an
hour every day? What would it be?
Dun, dun, dun,
Ahoy, hoy.
dun, dun, dun.
Controlling, he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always wreck the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on the job, my team move like the mob. Turn the beat on.